Good evening and welcome to California Today. I'm David Lam, sitting in for Liang Zhang. Here's a preview of some of today's stories. Apple unveiled its new line of iPhone and watches at the 2022 Far Out event. Avid Apple fans say they look forward to the new products. Scorching temperatures continue to threaten the state's power supply. But just as electricity is in short supply, so is water. The Fairview Fire continues to burn in Southern California. Evacuations are currently underway. Apple unveiled the long-awaited iPhone 14 and Apple Watches Series 8 at its 2022 Far Out event earlier today. I spoke to some Apple fans to hear what they think of the new products. Apple in Silicon Valley continues adding new features and tech to its product lineup. The newest upgrades include emergency services and increased tracking tools. On Wednesday, Apple showed a trio of new Apple Watches Series 8. The Apple Watches focus on communication, productivity, fitness, and a temperature sensor that can track women's ovulation. The Cupertino-based company introduced a new model at $799 for extreme sports and diving.
And the remarkable Apple Watch Ultra, an entirely new category of Apple Watch with its rugged design, long battery life, and breakthrough technologies, is the most capable watch ever.
Some Apple fans are looking forward to the rugged device.
I thought that was really interesting, the new Apple Watch that they released for extremes, like extreme temperatures, like very high or very low, like we are in the heat wave now. So they released one that is for people that do triathlon, Ironman, diving, like go to the Mount Everest and things like that.
The new watches, starting at $499 with cellular, can also detect if the user has fallen or been involved in a serious vehicle crash. It can then call emergency services as well as notify emergency contacts. It's based on GPS and AI. For runners, the watch can track routes and pace runners against their previous times.
And that's what Apple's always been really great at, is just everything works together so seamlessly. And so whatever you need, you just pick up an Apple device and it just, you know how to use it because it works with what you already have.
Hicks says he's excited about the new iPhone 14.
I think the biggest thing coming is that satellite feature that everyone will be able to access for emergency texting is really, really great.
The phone has the ability to connect to satellites when cell or Wi-Fi service isn't available, but only for emergency situations. The new iPhone 14s are ditching the physical SIM card tray, and instead, users will need eSIMs, a digital SIM to activate cell plans.
All of my products, technology products, are from Apple. So I'm a little nerd about it.
Apple also said that its second-generation AirPods Pro will double the noise cancellation from the original version.
There was a lot of rumors that Apple may be raising their prices because of supply chain issues and inflation, what have you. And one small but pleasant surprise from today is that they didn't. They kept the same prices as previous years. So I think some people will be relieved.
The iPhone 14 Pro will start at $999, and the iPhone 14 Pro Max starts at $1,099. Pre-orders start on Friday. David Lam, NTD News, California. Californians are struggling to escape a scorching heat wave. The state's power grid operator raised an emergency alert to its highest level briefly on Tuesday, pressuring residents to cut usage or face electricity blackouts.
Many Californians flocked to the coast to cool off on Tuesday as the state faced potential power blackouts amid a sweltering heat wave.
Oh, it's hot out here. Yeah, it's definitely not unusually hot.
A lot of people using the air conditioner, and using light, fans, everything just to try to keep, cool.
The heat wave has been going on for about a week, pushing parts of California to record temperatures. In Death Valley, the mercury hit 127 degrees Fahrenheit, or 53 Celsius, on September the 1st. That's believed to be the hottest September day to ever have been recorded on Earth. And while the Santa Monica ocean breeze kept these beachgoers cool, state authorities were pleading with residents and businesses to throttle their power use during peak hours for a 7th straight day. The warning, known as a flex alert, came from California's independent service operator, which asked locals to be ready for potential rotating power outages. It said electricity demand had hit a new historic all-time high for the grid, and later on Tuesday briefly raised the power grid's emergency alert to its highest. But for many, air conditioning is hard to give up.
I was burning in the bus yesterday, but as soon as I got off, I just jumped in the AC in the car.
Low-key, we just bought like 2 ACs for the house because this heat is so bad and it's really not giving.
In a video released Tuesday, Governor Gavin Newsom joined the chorus in urging Californians to do a little bit more to keep the energy supplies going. He also blamed years of drought for the state's reduced hydroelectric power generation capability. Weather experts are closely watching the path of Hurricane K, with concerns that the flow around the storm could lead to extreme heat along the coast around San Diego. An extreme weather heat warning remains in place until late Thursday.
The record-setting heat wave made life miserable in much of the West on Tuesday. California is now stretching into its second week of excessive heat, taxing the state's power supply and threatening power shortages as people try to stay cool.
In Los Angeles, temperatures peaked in the upper 90s on Tuesday, prompting the nation's second-largest school district to limit the use of asphalt and concrete playgrounds. Orange County Zoo gave blocks of ice to its animals as a handful of visitors watched them lick the quickly melting treats. Nearby, general contractor Sean Clifton used the shade of an oak tree to escape the heat while working on an outdoor gazebo project.
We seem to always just make it through. We have our little tricks to keep cool. Everybody does.
Sacramento tied a record Tuesday with its 41st day of temperatures reaching at least 100 degrees. And the city broke its all-time record temperature, hitting 116 degrees in downtown Sacramento. In San Francisco, temperatures hit 94 degrees just before noon on Tuesday. The city is known for its fog and mild summer weather, so most people don't have air conditioning. Though the heat wave likely peaked in most places on Tuesday, extremely high temperatures are expected to continue for several more days.
Along with limiting electrical use, Southern Californians are being asked to limit certain water usage. That's as repairs need to be made on a major water pipeline to the area. Here's a look at what watering is being asked to stop.
More than 4 million residents in Los Angeles County are being urged to suspend outdoor watering for 15 days. Starting on Tuesday, the Metropolitan Water District began repairing a leak in a major delivery pipeline. The repairs became necessary after officials discovered a leak in the 36-mile upper feeder pipeline earlier this year. It delivers water from the Colorado River to Southern California. Municipal Water District General Manager Adele Hajkadil said the temporary fix we have in place has allowed us to operate the pipeline at a reduced capacity over the summer, but it's not intended to last long term. Residents and businesses throughout the county are being called on to temporarily suspend all outdoor watering, including drip irrigation and hand watering. The water company recommends that trees and gardens be pre-watered before the shutdown and maintained using water collected from the sink and shower.
From fires to hurricanes, folks in Mexico and Southern California are keeping an eye on a developing storm, Hurricane K. Hurricane K is a Category 2 hurricane right now, and it's expected to bring strong winds and heavy rain across the Baja California Peninsula over the next few days. The National Hurricane Center says it could make landfall late Thursday. The area could get between 6 and 10 inches of rain, with some parts getting about 15 inches. Parts of Southern California will likely see rain from the storm this weekend. The raging Southern California wildfire continues to spread and evacuations are underway. NTD's Jackie Rios spoke to a CAL FIRE Riverside PIO for an update on the situation.
A deadly wildfire in the city of Hemet in Riverside County continues to rage out of control. Lives have been lost, several properties have been destroyed, people have been evacuated, and schools have been closed. We talked with firefighters to learn more about the Fairview Fire. Rob Rosine, PIO for CAL FIRE Riverside County Fire Department, said the fire started on Monday around 3:40 p.m. According to latest reports, it covers 7,000 acres and is 5% contained and has so far spread rapidly. Rosine said that so far 7 structures have been destroyed and there has been loss of human life.
So far, we have had 2 fatalities as a result of this fire. There's also been 1 victim that suffered burn injuries. That's the extent of our fatalities and injuries at this time.
Rosine said that although the cause of the fire is under investigation, California is no stranger to droughts and fires. But with the recent heat dome cooking California for the past several days, it leads to a prime fire situation like the one in Fairview. And to battle the blaze, responding firefighters carry supplies to last them for 24 hours.
Those packs can weigh up to 40 pounds, and they're carrying those on them during the entire firefight. So it's an extremely physically demanding job, but our firefighters are up to the task.
With over 3,400 homes in the impacted area of the fire, Rosine had the following message.
So it's very imperative that when we have these kind of fire events and there's mandatory evacuations issued, we need folks to heed those evacuation warnings and orders. It can be a matter of life and death.
Firefighters from all over the region continue to battle the Fairview Fire from the ground and in the air in an ongoing effort to increase containment lines. Jackie Rios, NTD News, California.
We're going to take a short break, but here's a look at what we've got for you when we come back. A social media trend is being blamed for an uptick in car thefts in Los Angeles. Thieves are targeting 2 specific car brands. And a 6th-generation family apple orchard runs an outdoor cider bar. Some family members share how they keep the cider-making tradition alive. That and more on California Today. Speaking of crimes, a trend on TikTok has led to thefts of certain cars to nearly double in Los Angeles compared to last year. The theft uptick is likely due to the ease of stealing certain new models from 2 brands of cars.
As a result of a social media trend, Kia and Hyundai car thefts are up 85% from last year, according to Los Angeles Police Chief Michael Moore. Moore told the Los Angeles Police Commission that he, quote, believes it's influenced by this social media challenge. The viral videos, which have been spreading on TikTok since May, show people how to break into Hyundai and Kia vehicles made between 2010 and 2021. Those cars were targeted because they lacked an ignition immobilizer system. According to the LAPD, no ignition immobilizer system leaves cars vulnerable to hot wiring. Moore is asking residents with the affected cars to install a steering wheel lock to provide a deterrent. Other cities have been impacted by this trend as well. In Chicago, authorities reported a 757% increase in Hyundai and Kia vehicle thefts.
In the woods of Northern California is an outdoor cider bar run by a family for over 140 years. NTD's Eileen Ng hears more about them apples from some family members who run the apple farm.
Along a highway road cradled between fruit orchards and vineyards stands a cider tasting bar. The smell of fresh apples and joyful chattering fills the air. Gowan's Heirloom Cider, a family-run business about an hour south of Fort Bragg, has been flourishing since 1876. 5th-generation farmer and cider maker Sharon Gowan says they recently opened up the outdoor cider bar during the pandemic.
We started making hard cider about 10 years ago. Some of our hard ciders won best in the world's largest cider competitions. And we were super excited. We got to open up an outdoor tasting room 2 years ago during the pandemic. So people can come and try our cider from our taps and our bar and sit amidst these historic trees. And it's lots of fun. They're not very soft. They're pretty hard, but they're sweet and they're tart.
Sharon married into the family 30 years ago and has 2 sons, who are the current 6th generation. The 200-acre apple farm has over 100 different varieties and about 11,000 trees. The family continues to harvest apples from some of the exact same trees as their ancestors, some being 150 years old.
In the 1990s, we had some researchers that came by, and they were shocked to find out that we had this apple. It's called the Sierra Beauty apple, and they thought it was extinct. They'd been searching for it for decades.
Native to California, the Sierra Beauty has good acidity, natural baking spices, and is sweet, making it a desirable apple for pastry chefs.
The fun thing is that we've been able to bring in so many different kinds of apples from all around the world. And if apples are happy in one kind of climate, they're often happy in another.
They also have Macintosh from Canada, Granny Smith from New Zealand, and Astrakhan from Russia. The farm also grows pears and figs. Their fruits are grown organically. Sharon explains how everything stays on the farm, from growing to packaging.
We harvest the apples, we press them into juice, we ferment them and bottle them right here on the same property so nothing leaves. And then any waste, like the pulp after the pressing, we spread that around on the farm so that our native wild bees can also have some of that, and that helps them in the fall to grow. So we hope to not have to bring in honeybees because we've been supporting the wild bee population. And they're so pretty when you get them all shined up, right?
After picking, the apples go through a machine for washing before it's pressed into large fermentation tanks.
There's a lot of challenges to small businesses, and especially small farmers. I think that looking at what maybe the next thing could be, and for us in our generation, the next thing was doing hard cider, because happily people were starting to wake up to how fun hard cider was. And so I think that's been the new thing that helped this generation keep going. And previously it was taking horses and wagons over to the coast for a day, or driving the new pickup truck across the 10-year-old Golden Gate Bridge back in the 40s, I think that was. So it's everybody kind of looking for how to keep it going and people willing to work together.
They also bottle the cider on site once every few months.
And that's why it's so bubbly.
The current matriarch of the farm is 97-year-old Josephine Gowan. She took some time to share fond memories of her apple picking days.
I had a women's crew of about 16 women, and the men worked in the mills in the forest, and we picked the apples. The women and I picked the apples, and I was a pretty good apple picker.
Now she walks about an hour around the orchard every day. Her favorites are Gravenstein, Sierra Beauty, and Astrakhan. She notes that Jonathan's are great for eating and cooking.
It's an apple that I could use for everything. It fries beautifully. It makes a beautiful fried apple. It makes a good sauce. It makes a good pie. It makes a good eating apple. It doesn't keep real long, but it keeps pretty good.
It's very ripe and it's in season.
The orchard gets lots of help from the young, too. Shalisha welcomes guests at the fruit stand. She cuts apple and pear samples for visitors.
And make sure that the apples are fresh and looking good for the people that come to our tasting rooms. And I also do apple tastings and pear tastings so that people know what they're buying before they actually pay for it.
Shalisha enjoys talking to people, hearing their stories, and learning new things.
I had a guy from Brazil come into our tasting room, and he came and he sat down, and I had these Asian pears. He said where he's from they're called a pear apple, and he said that he calls them papples. And I thought that that was such a cool thing and something so different.
The farm is open year-round. Besides selling apples, cider, and slushies on the property, they also ship the fruits to select markets and schools. Every year, they sell about 10,000 cases of cider. Eileen Ang, NTD News, Philo, California.
Now to NTD's Thomas Christian for an update on sports.
I'm Thomas Christian. It's time for the California Today Sports Roundup. The LA Rams will begin their quest to repeat as Super Bowl champions when they face the looming Buffalo Bills on Thursday in the first game of the NFL season. The Rams are a symphony of top NFL talent orchestrated by their football savant head coach Sean McVay. Their defense, spearheaded by the best man in football, Aaron Donald, is seeing new veterans join the fray. Bobby Wagner from Seattle hopes to replace the Von Miller-sized hole in the middle of the field, and Jalen Ramsey is also returning to strike fear into the hearts of opposing receivers. On offense, the Rams are returning much of what made them successful the year prior as well. A receiving core of Cooper Kupp and Van Jefferson are bolstered by newcomer Allen Robinson, and a fully healthy Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson look ready to lead the charge from the ground. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford proved last year that he could lead a quality team to the Super Bowl and beyond, but he will be tested by the many other contenders in the NFL in 2022. The Rams are looking to become the first repeat champion since the Brady-led New England Patriots did it in the 2003 and 2004 seasons, but will have their work cut out for them this season. Serena Williams' defeat at the US Open on Friday in what was likely the final match of her glittering career was the most watched tennis telecast in ESPN's 43-year history, the network said on Tuesday. Williams' third-round loss to Australia's Isla Tomljanovic at the Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York averaged 4.8 million viewers and peaked with 6.9 million viewers in the 10:15 quarter hour. The winner of 23 Grand Slam singles tournaments, Williams transcended the sport in her likely departure from competitive tennis to focus on growing her family and business interests, leading to a flood of tributes from athletes, celebrities, and politicians. Williams' 3 singles matches and 1 doubles match alongside Venus helped drive up viewership through the first 5 days of the tournament, as an average of 1.1 million viewers tuned into ESPN networks, up 101% from 2021. Andre Iguodala has an open invitation to rejoin the Golden State Warriors this NBA season if he so chooses. The 38-year-old small forward has yet to confirm whether or not he wants to keep his talents in the Bay Area, move to another team, or retire after an illustrious playing career. The 2015 Finals MVP will be remembered most for his time on Golden State, but his career spans back to being drafted by Philadelphia in 2004 and includes a 2012 All-Star selection and 2 NBA All-Defensive selections. During the 2021-22 Finals run with the Warriors, Iguodala only averaged 8.7 minutes off the bench for 1.6 points, 1.7 assists, and 1 rebound per game averages. Still, the ability to go to him in big moments proved crucial down the stretch for Golden State, and Iggy's presence in the Warriors locker room has also been raved about by coaches and fans alike.
And that's all for your California Today Sports Roundup.
And that's all we've got for you tonight. We'd like for you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8:30 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts on our California Today webpage. You can find it at ntd.com/California-today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. Send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. I'm David Lam, sitting in for Liang Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.